Sugar is the most addictive substance on this planet. Welcome back to the Keto Vegan. This is where I explore the intersection of plant-based living, the keto lifestyle. I am Rachel, I am your host, and today I'm delving into the topic that is as sweet as it is dangerous, and that is sugar. Now, whether you're just starting your keto journey or you've been on this path for a while, understanding the impact of sugar is absolutely crucial. What is sugar in? Is it just the stuff in that bag that you sprinkle and it's white? Okay, it is more than just a sweet treat. It is a sneaky substance that can completely derail your health, derail your keto progress, and your overall well-being. And today in this episode, I'm going to unpack the dangers of sugar, how it affects your body, and why it's so important to avoid it on the keto diet. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is sugar? Most of us think of sugar as those white granules we add to our cornflakes. I mean, you've got to add something to cornflakes. They're like cardboard, aren't they? Mind you, I'm a bit biased against carbs, or that we add to our coffee or find in desserts. But sugar comes in many, many different forms. Yesterday, I was just looking through some PDF downloads that I have. This guy, Dr. Mike Dow, he's written a book called Sugar Brain Fix. And he lists, whenever I say the word sugar in this book, here's what I mean. And there's over 30 things that he's listed that he means. I mean, he's included raw sugar, quinoa, oats, rice, refiner's syrup, saccharin, spelt, splendor, yellow sugar, wheat, treacle, etc., etc., etc. Comes in many different forms. And the list goes on and on and on. And unfortunately, sugar is hiding in so many foods, many more foods than you might think. And if you've been keto a while, you will know just how many foods it is hiding in. You just look at that carb count and you think, flipping heck, I thought that was meant to be healthy for me. So bread, sauces, even healthy snacks that some people consider to be good for you. Sugar is everywhere. I'm going to talk now about sugar's impact on the body. Now, don't forget, right at the start of this episode, I stated boldly that sugar is the most addictive substance on this planet. That's a controversial statement. I have done loads of research around this, and if you just wait until further along in this episode, I will explain a little bit more. Okay, sugar's impact on the body. Weight gain. Yes, we know that it's going to cause weight gain. And why is this? Sugar has excess calories. It's very calorie dense. When it is consumed in excess, those extra calories can lead to weight gain, as it consuming anything in excess. It actually can increase appetite. Sugar can stimulate the release of hormones that increase appetite. More about that when I talk about addiction. And increasing appetite leads to overeating. Another thing, insulin resistance. Excessive sugar consumption can contribute to insulin resistance. Basically, this is when the body becomes less sensitive to insulin, and that's a hormone that regulates blood sugar levels, and that also can lead to increased fat storage. Another problem with sugar is there's a reduced satiety. Sugar-laden foods are often processed and they lack fiber, and this then contributes to feelings of hunger and overeating, and also nutrient displacement. When we consume excessive sugar, we might be displacing more nutrient-dense foods that promote satiety and overall health. Now, sugar isn't the only reason people put on weight, but it is a major contributing factor. Other impacts that sugar can have on our bodies is it can cause even certain types of cancer. Now, those of us living a vegan lifestyle, we often focus on plant-based foods, which is obviously the way to go. But it's also easy, unless you're keto, to overlook the hidden sugars in processed vegan products. And the hidden sugars can be just as harmful as the obvious sources of sugar, which I have spoken about. Now, inflammation. Okay, inflammation is your body's response to injury or infection, but when it becomes chronic, it can lead to serious health problems. And sugar is a major culprit in this, in promoting chronic inflammation, which can contribute to conditions like arthritis, depression, and even Alzheimer's. When you're on a keto diet, you're already reducing inflammation by cutting out carbs. If you go off the keto and you consume sugar, that can negate all of those benefits. If you are really sort of new to this, look for hidden sugars under different names like agave. How do you pronounce that? Is it agave? I don't know, agave, just in case you think I'm crazy with my spelling, considering I used to be a teacher as well. Nectar, cane juice, or anything ending in ose, O-S-E, like glucose, fructose. And when in doubt, just stick to whole, unprocessed foods. Green vegetables, nuts, seeds, plant-based fats like avocado, coconut oil are your best friends on a keto vegan diet. Always check the carb count as well. Sugar being the most addictive substance on the planet, is that true? Now, it is known as the white poison for a good reason. It is incredibly addictive, with studies showing that it can trigger the same reward pathways in the brain as addictive substances like cocaine, like nicotine. And that is due to the release of dopamine. And this is a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. Now, over time, repeated exposure to sugar can lead to tolerance, meaning you need more and more to achieve the same level of satisfaction. And that is what can make it very difficult to break free from the cycle of this addiction. It is not considered addictive by the mainstream medicine. There are loads of links to articles under this podcast if you want to find out more. Is it the truth? The research is still pretty new, and lots of the research is based on animal studies, and so they're saying they can't liken it to human studies. I have read so many stories and heard so many people and treated through my hypnotherapy people for becoming free of sugar addiction, and treated them successfully as well. But it is tricky. Like stopping smoking is not like that at all. Stopping smoking, you don't need smoking to survive day by day, but sugar is in so much. To cut it out completely is nigh on impossible. That would be 0 carbs on everything you eat. And you can't do that. It's not possible. So a food addiction, a sugar addiction, is tricky to maintain. So when I do the hypnotherapy with clients for sugar addiction, it works instantly. However, keeping that maintenance going is tricky. So one very successful client I had stopped sugar, and then I saw her for a few more sessions to talking about habits and so on and so on. And that was very successful. I do think sugar is highly addictive. It is about those dopamine pathways in the brain. I was going to go into much more science with this, but I won't bore you with all of that. Again, look at the links underneath. There are lots of articles below. And I was going to go into detail, and I knew you'd have loved me going on about all those scientific research and stuff like that. Certainly does it for me, but maybe not all my listeners. Okay, so summing up. Oh, actually, I've just seen one of the titles. Sugar is a drug, and here's how we're hooked. That's one of the articles that's below. Title, is sugar more addictive than cocaine? These are the questions that I've been asking. And another one, sugar addiction, the state of the science. So do have a look at those articles that are below if you want to. Finally, then, I know it can be challenging to give up sugar, especially if you're at the start of your keto journey, and especially if you have what people call a sweet tooth. I call that a sugar addiction. Trust me, though, the benefits far outweigh the temporary pleasure of that sweet taste. There are loads of keto-friendly sweeteners out there, like stevia, and the sugars that I use that are in many of my recipes. They can satisfy your cravings without the negative effects of sugar. There are some sugar-free sweets as well. Careful with those, though. I gave gave a friend, actually it was my son, a pack of these sugar-free sweets. I can't even remember what they were. And oh my God, do you know why they're sugar-free? Because the sweetness in them, the sweetener, doesn't get processed by the body at all, just goes straight through the body and gives you the most horrendous diarrhea. Too much information. Okay, but if you go keto, when you go keto, you will probably find after just a little while, you don't even want sweet things anymore. So if you are going to use sweetened products, artificially sweetened products, be moderate with the use of those. I'm sure I don't need to say about avoiding fruit. The only fruit really that we can eat, and it still has to be in big moderation, are blackberries and raspberries. They are the lowest carb count. They're much lower in sugar. But again, be very careful with your portions. It's easy to get that pot of Elmley double plant-based cream, pour that over a few raspberries, and it is so moreish. It's quite something. I know that I've been very tempted to have a whole punnet of raspberries and a whole half pint of double cream because I know that it's not bad for me because of the keto diet. But remember, the goal is to keep your overall carb intake low enough to stay in ketosis. So as I close today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought. Sugar is one of the most addictive substances in our modern diet. But by choosing a keto vegan lifestyle, you're already making an incredibly powerful choice for your health and for our planet. By cutting out sugar, you're not only supporting your keto journey, but also protecting your body from a host of chronic diseases. And don't forget, every small change you make towards reducing sugar can have a big impact on your overall health and well-being. So next time you're tempted by something sweet, think about the bigger picture, your health, your goals, and the life you're creating for yourself. That's it for today's episode of The Keto Vegan. I hope you found this information helpful, and please share this podcast with your friends and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss one of these fabulous episodes. I'm Rachel, reminding you to stay healthy, stay plant-based, and stay keto. Until next time, take care.